5 children allegedly abducted in Lagos have been a subject of investigation by News Central's investigative desk. Chimka Amakalu is a man who reached out to News Central with complaints of his children being abducted by persons he said were relatives of his late wife. He alleges that he has been unable to set his eyes on his children who were living with his wife before her demise in 2018, as his wife's relatives have refused him access to his children. News Central's special correspondent on investigative journalism, Marshal Anthony Onoye, has been investigating this claim with the support of the Nigerian police. But earlier we had an interview with Chimka Kalu.
My sister-in-law, that's my wife's elder sister, that came to the house where we lived in Bogije, Lagos, and took my wife and children since on the 20th of August 2018. And since then, I've not seen them till now. The first one is Hosanna, that's a female, and she's 10 years now. The second one is Hallelujah, he's 9 years now. And then the third one is Glory, female also, 8 years now. Then the twins we are giving birth to in January 2019, so they should be 7 years now. My desire for number one, my children, have been denied access to me, for as long as they have been born. Every child deserves the right to have access to his or her parents. And when one parent is no longer there, of course, the next available parent who is alive should be able to have access to those children. And when this thing has been blatantly denied the children by their supposed aunties or grannies, it shows that even the supposed aunties and grannies have no compassion for the well-being of the children. They are only trying to use the children as a victim tool against their suspected enemy, which is, in this case, they may see as their own enemy. My goal, I might say, is to recover my children from their hands and be able to give my children the training that they deserve and the love that they deserve, because I wonder, it's impossible for them to be able to give them the kind of love that those children ought to receive.
Live now to Awka, the Anambra State capital, where News Central has been investigating this case of alleged abduction of 5 children reported to News Central. Now, News Central special correspondent on investigative journalism, Marshal Anthony Onoye, is standing by with updates on that particular situation. Marshal, now, can you tell us more about this investigation?
Thank you very much, Lekon. It's good to join you here live. So we have been in Awka, the Anambra State capital, since on Sunday. Today's Thursday. We've been tracking the location of these children by tracking the location of the persons that were believed to be in custody of these children. And we had arrived ourselves here at the State Command, the Awka, the Anambra State Command, and introduced ourselves to the Commissioner of Police. We had a signal from the Inspector General of Police and had to domicile it at his office first to seek his collaboration. And upon arrival, we got all the collaboration we wanted, all the collaboration we sought from the State Command, and they gave us that a team of men who joined us in the surveillance. We, of all location, every location we had, we carried out ground surveillance until we were able to locate these persons. We eventually located the person in custody of the children, and also located the children, 5 of them. Initially, yesterday on Wednesday, when we went out to the location of the person in custody of the children, we found out that the kids were in school. So we had to locate their school as well and identify the children. So the news here is that we've been able to locate both the person who was designated suspect and the children who were designated victims.
So I know that investigation is still ongoing, but is this a case of abduction or maybe a family feud that probably might need to be settled, necessarily not with the help of the police?
Obviously, you would have a Family Feud in the entire mix. You have Barrister Olumide there in the studio, so he will tell you more about the legal side of things. But the fact that we have one of the parents of these children still alive and denied access to his children without any legal backing, without any court saying that he shouldn't be given access to his children, without any court finding him wanting in parenting or being a parent to these children. And then the fact that he had reported, and these matters have been under investigation by several police formation, and then, for years, Lekon, these children have been without their father. They are still below the ages of the senior one is below the age of 11, while the other one is around 8 years, and then the twins are 6 years old. These are children who couldn't have said where they wanted to be or with whom they wanted to be. So another fact is that the people holding them are not their parents. They might be relatives of their mother, but they are not their parents. So it is a case of abduction. It is a case of abduction that was reported by the parent, legitimate parent of the children. And it is now left for the police to take it on from here. Ours was to heed the cry of this young man who reached out to us and then sought the collaboration of the police, which we did, and eventually deployed our own apparatus and intelligence in assisting the police to locate these children, which we've done. So for us at News Central, it's a victory. It's now a matter of police investigation to carry on and ascertain whether or not these persons whom the children were found with are culpable of any offense or crime.
Marshall, stay with us for a while, all right? We want to equally bring in a rights lawyer and an advocate against gender-based violence, Barrister Olumide Omoshebe, who has also been on top of this matter anyway. Now, Barrister, I'd like you to look at this case because it seems to be a tricky one as regards custody rights involving a father and relatives of his late wife. What do you make of this?
Well, good afternoon, and straight to the point. The cases of child abductions are now something becoming a phenomenon in Nigeria, where family members just take children. Family members just come home, take the wife, take the husband, and tell the other spouse, our son is no longer interested, our daughter is no longer interested. They just divide the home, not because the child wants to leave, but because their family sat down and came to a decision that we don't want our daughter in this marriage again. We have a case where a woman, upon giving birth to her daughter in the hospital through a cesarean section, while she was still unconscious, the mother of the mother-in-law came into the clinic with the son and took a day-old baby while the mother was still unconscious out of the clinic and said that they don't want to marry, they just need their child. A day-old baby. By the time this woman woke up, till today, she has not set her eyes on the child she delivered, took the child to Benin. Now we have someone who is also happily married. Suddenly the family came and said that they believe you are maltreating their daughter. They took the daughter, took all the children away. And then what happened? The daughter died in their custody. That is the wife of Mr. Chisom, the father of these children, died in their custody. And still they did not tell him that the wife was dead. They took the children, and he has not even been allowed access to his children for years. This will be going to 3 years. And they just said he was maltreated. What evidence? And now you have to consider what is in the best interest of the child. Once a spouse dies, the surviving spouse assumes custody. You cannot take without a court order, without reasonable suspicion of danger. You cannot. And that is how you take 5 children, 5, away from a father, and you now take them to places unknown. This is criminal, because you even deny the children access to their biological father. Will you take care of the child the same way the father would take care of? You take them to the village. Meanwhile, they were living in the city. You leave no room for when he comes over, you start directing him and he's here, they are there.
Okay.
You get there, they say, no, it's a tattoo in the family, you cannot see,
Yeah, now,
this is criminal.
Barrister Omoshebe, now, what are the legal options to this? Because it seems as though certain people have actually taken laws into their hands. What should we be looking at to actually gain or get justice from this particular matter?
Of course, the children were kidnapped. They were taken forcefully. You deny them access to the father, which is against the law. You cannot deny a parent access to his child without a court order. So he should definitely, to make everything legal, he should go to court. But already, we cannot compound illegality with illegality. The children, first of all, should go back to status quo, be given to the father. The father should see his children. Then the matter should be taken to court. How could they forcefully adopt children away from the father? It is a criminal act.
Okay. All right, so Marshall, just to quickly bring you into this before I let you go, was there any word in defense from these relatives who held on to these children? I know investigations are ongoing, but then was there an explanation in defense for what they did?
Yes, certainly, Lekon, they had their reservation as to what was transpiring in the marriage at the time. It appeared to be a troubled marriage between the couple before they came in and took their daughter, who happened to be the wife and mother of these children, the wife of the man, away with the children at the time when she was pregnant, and eventually she gave birth in her father's house to the same man's children. So they had claimed that there was domestic violence at the time. They had claimed that they were afraid for the life of their daughter. But like you've heard Mr. Barrister Olumide say, they should have gone to the police, they should have gone to the courts. There were things and measures that they should have equally taken. He also mentioned about the demise of this woman in their custody and their refusal to let him in to her matters concerning her burial, and even pre-informing him about the wife's ailment before she passed. So all of these are issues and matters of investigation, and they could actually be found very culpable, depending on how the police or the court might look at it. Also, let me add here that they didn't only take these people away, that's the children and the woman, they changed location entirely, supposedly hiding their location from this man. So it is a matter that warranted him to reach out to us to see what we could do as a matter of deeper search in terms of tracking and all.
Okay, now, Barrister Omoshebe, how do we address issues where we've seen acts like this along personal beliefs and probably religious rights, where we see families probably take on situations within the family based on their best interest? We understand that this matter is going to court, but then we have issues of domestic violence and people taking laws into their hands. How can we avoid or prevent this?
I speak and work for victims of domestic violence and abuse. Once it is a crime, it goes with 3 years in prison, up to 3 years in prison, when you can prove.
Okay, so Barrister Olumide Omoshebe, I think we just lost audio feed from your end, but then we say thank you so much. And Marshall Onoye, of course, we know that investigations have continued on this. We hope to get more details from you, of course, subsequently.